Whether your cat sleeps right beside you in your bed, or in a completely different room in their very own nesting area, what does it all mean for you as an owner? Is the trust and love a bit less? Your cat decides not to be right next to you while you are sound asleep. In this material, we'll talk about the distance and the overall sleep proximity and what it means if, in fact, it truly means much of anything at all. The distance. Is it really something to value, something to pay attention to? Or are you perhaps wringing your hands over nothing? Is your cat trying to send you a message based on how close or far away they sleep? Let's talk about it. Interesting topic, so you don't go falling asleep. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. When it comes to the topic of distance, if your cat sleeps right next to you, more specifically, if your cat is in your bed, this is a clear sign of trust, comfort, and trust. As we all know, we're at our most vulnerable when we are sound asleep, and if your cat is willing to fall asleep in your presence and in very close proximity, this is your pet's way of telling you that not only do I trust you while I'm asleep, out of all the places that I could be, this is where I want to be. As a cat owner, this is obviously a major win. Your cat choosing you during those vulnerable sleep hours. Your cat feeling at peace with you, and your pet is feeling like they can get the very best night of sleep right there next to you. This is about as good as it gets. Another thing to consider that goes beyond comfort and trust, and that is family. Your cat in those moments is essentially claiming you as family. The bond is simply too strong to stay away. You could say, especially if your cat sleeps right next to you on a regular basis and has done so for years, attempting to break up this arrangement could cause your pet to become very upset, perhaps even angry. Your cat likely values this routine so much that anything else wouldn't even be considered. There are many boxes that we'd all love to check as cat owners just to indicate that we're doing a good job and that we've won our cat over. When it comes to sleep proximity, the closer the better in terms of those good vibes. Now, that's not to say that you personally have to enjoy having cat fur right in your face or even having your cat on your bed. That's for another discussion. But just this act by your cat every single night, what it means for you is that you could likely teach a class on this very subject. If your cat has that type of loyalty and trusts you that much, it's pretty obvious that you are winning in grand fashion. Now, let's swing things to the other direction. In the other direction, what does it mean if your cat doesn't want to sleep next to you, never does, and quite frankly never has, after many years of ownership? Is it fair to take everything that I said about the positives of close proximity and flip them? Well, not at all. Very experienced cat owners will tell you, and this message right now is primarily for novice owners, don't read too much into where your cat sleeps as it relates to you physically. It's not a make it or break it, at least on its face. Cats are curious and independent animals, and they can be all of those things and still love you very much, and still be loyal and still trust you. And just like people, cats have their very own and very special personalities. Some cats, perhaps they just don't like the bed, your bed. They don't care to sleep next to you, to share that sleep time with you, especially at a very close distance. And as a loving and responsible owner, if you've set up a nice cat-friendly living space for your pet, complete with not only a play area, but a sleep area, perhaps they just like what you've done for them. No reason to sleep close to you when they're more than content with the bedding and the blankets that you have supplied for them in a very different part of the home. And some cats, they just simply want to sleep. It is as honest as it seems. They want that time to be alone time. They don't want to have to share the experience. They just want to go off to a quiet spot, their nesting area, or just another spot and rest. This is more of a preference thing than some big picture of how they view their relationship with you. My senior cat, Burl, especially, in the last few years of his life, he'd rotate sleep spots, stay in one area for a couple of months, and then he'd change it up. And during those waking hours where he had slept the night before, had nothing at all to do with the awesome relationship that I had with him and that we had with each other. The take-home message is that yes, there's a laundry list of positives that can be drawn if your cat sleeps next to you, especially in the same bed. However, if your cat has no desire to sleep next to you, that doesn't mean something negative. As for the topic relative to distance, so your cat sleeps on the other side of the house. What does that mean? In short, I'd say that it means nothing at all as it relates to how your cat feels about you. I think we can all conclude that if you're having doubts about how your cat feels about you, it will show up in a host of other ways that can be much more conclusive. If your cat is calm, relaxed, affectionate, and playful during the day, yet chooses to sleep far away from you at night, there could be some overthinking taking place. If your pet really had an issue with you personally, you're going to know about it. Where your cat sleeps wouldn't even rank on the list if there was something really going on. That's the thing about cats. If they're upset with you, if they're mad, you won't have to hire a team of investigators to find out. Before I close things out, and this message is mainly for new owners, there's going to be a lot to take in. Always a lot to take in, especially in those early days. Seeing cats in the window of a pet store and petting the cat next door, there's really no comparison when it comes to actually owning a cat, having a feline in your home 24/7. And let me say, there is no such thing as a bad question, a silly question. All questions are good questions. It's better to ask and be curious rather than dismiss everything. If you aren't sure, simply ask. The question of sleep proximity and what it means, it's a valuable one, especially if you've just embarked on your ownership journey and you're attempting to get a read on your cat's personality, and if you are making gains with respect to building a positive relationship. If you have a friend and they speak of their cat sleeping in their bed, but your cat just doesn't, it would be common to wonder if you're not doing something right, if you're making a big mistake. Rest easy, all is well. There's a great chance that you're doing everything just fine. My advice, don't stress over things like sleep proximity. Instead, stress positive interactions during those waking hours. Happy engagement, fun times, play times, cuddle times, making those memories. And for your cat, establishing those positive associations that connect right back to you. Sleeping close to you in your bed, sure, that is a sign of contentment, comfort, loyalty, and trust, but there are many other ways to achieve those goals, making the waking hours count. In the end, that's where the ownership journey is won. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts on this topic? Where does your cat sleep? Close to you? On the other side of the house entirely? Your stories and general thoughts, that comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.